If you want to scale your online coaching business, this is the only video you're ever going to need to watch. All right, so right here, I'm about to reveal basically the two numbers you must know, the two metrics that are the most important in your business when it comes to scaling. All right, if you don't know this, you're kind of blind in the water. If you don't know who I am, my name is Jack Bly. I built a 7-figure online coaching business. And I'm basically showing you what I've learned along the way. So two metrics that you need to know right here. Right? They're big in here. They're red and they're green right here. So the first one is CAC. This is customer acquisition cost. All right, basically how much are you paying on average to acquire a new customer or a new client? All right, you need to know this number. You need to know, it's so important. If you don't know how much you're spending to acquire a client, you're blind. You don't know what's going on. Because what happens a lot of times, if you have the economics of your business set up correctly, which we'll go over in a minute, you could simply do more right now and scale so easy, like spend more on ads or do more content, whatever you're doing to acquire clients, you could simply do more if you know this metric clearly. All right, and our goal here with this metric, of course, is to decrease this as much as humanly possible, as illustrated by my beautiful red, down arrow right here. So we want to decrease this number. We want to get as close as possible to zero. All right, obviously, if we do that, then we have just crazy arbitrage. We have a system where we can put $1 in and make $5, $10, $20 back. All right, that's just crazy. So that's the first one is CAC. The second one that you need to know is what we call LTV. So LTV stands for lifetime value. It's basically how much does a customer on average pay you over their lifetime. All right, is it $2,000? Is it $5,000? Is it $20,000? How much is the average that someone is paying you over their lifetime of being a customer with your business? You need to know this number as well, or at least a close estimate. All right, it's hard to be exact with this one, but you can get a good estimate of it. So that's the two basic metrics you need to know in your business. And when you know this stuff, things become a lot more clear because this is the whole game. This is the game of business. It's arbitrage. We want to put $1 in up here and make at least $3 back. So that's a game right here. That's the minimum ratio you want to aim for, by the way, is at least 3 for LTV to 1 of CAC. All right, that's the bare minimum. Of course, you should do a lot more, especially I'll show you how to set up in this business. But that's the bare minimum you want to aim for. All right, so with that said, we kind of know the basics of what is CAC, what is LTV. Now I'm going to go over strategies of how can you basically optimize this ratio for your business so you're paying as little as humanly possible for new customers and then obviously making as much money as humanly possible from your customers when you get them in the door. So let's break it down. So first one, we're gonna go over CAC here. So we want this one to be basically 0 in an ideal world. So big thing for this is just efficiency. All right, so efficiency in your client acquisition system. All right, so if you're acquiring clients right now, you're probably, you're somehow getting leads, obviously, and you're somehow, getting them on sales calls and closing those sales calls, all right? And so efficiency is the game here. We wanna lower this number. And so for example, let's say you're running ads right now. Efficiency would be front end, you wanna decrease that cost per lead as low as humanly possible. However much you're paying for that cost per lead, can we make a better ad creative? Can we dial in the targeting more? Can we do something to decrease that cost per lead? All right, that's front end. And then beyond that, okay, it's cost per book call. How much are you paying per book call? All right, we're trying to basically improve efficiency of the system. All right, so it's ad creative first, and then it's the system to book calls in your business. Can we improve the efficiency so that conversion rate goes up? If we do that, again, cost goes down. And then it's the next metric, the next step of the system, which is calls showed. It's your show rate. How many people are actually showing up to your call? Can we increase that show rate? Again, just improves efficiency. The last one, of course, is close rates. Can we increase the close rate? And this is all about efficiency here. It's all about an efficient client acquisition system. All right, so that is CAC right there. That is the game. What I'm about to show you next with LTV. If you do this correctly, you honestly, you don't need to be that efficient. You don't have to be a ninja, marketer or a ninja salesman to pull this off. All right, because the economics I'm going to show you with a coaching business that we run and the coaching business that we help launch and scale, just the economics, we set them up in such a way where it's so hard to fail. If you run ads or if you're doing outbound, it is just so hard to fail because the economics are so much in your favor. There's so much arbitrage. So LTV, lifetime value. How do we make a customer pay us as much as humanly possible? All right, so there's 3 things I have noted down. There's some more, but these are the main things. So first one is upfront price. So if you're watching this, let's say you're a coach in the health, habits, addictions, relationships, dating, any of those spaces, or making money, or trading, investing, finance, all these different niches, they're all validated. They all are, people buy products in these niches or services in these niches. So the first thing you want to do is maximize upfront price. How much are you charging on the front end for your program? I highly recommend you do first thing is make sure you have a coaching package. coach, make it somewhere from like 2 months to 6 months is usually the golden range. You don't want to sell like individual, like one-off consultation. I mean, you can do that, but like don't make that your focus at all. Like have that back pocket. You want to have a coaching package that's 2 to 6 months, because what we can do when we do that, we can charge higher prices. Boom. And then pricing wise, what we want to do is get in the range of at least 2K. 2K is like bare minimum per client. So 2K to 10K is that golden range, right? Obviously the higher the better. So 2K to 10K is what you need to get to with your upfront price. Now, some of you might have limited release, and I did it too. I charged $69 a month for my first clients. I was in the fitness space. I, with my fitness coaching company, still own that today, but we charged $69 a month. All right, we were able to increase this price, and now we're charging 4K per client. So with that, obviously we increased price quite a bit. I can tell you right now, like it's just as hard to close those $69 a month clients as it is for the 4K clients. That's the first thing we did upfront, increase that upfront price. Obviously that increases the LTV, and that gives you so much wiggle room, because we can pay if we're getting 4K upfront like that, like you can pay 1K, 2K for your client acquisition cost and come out very profitable upfront, like instantly, which is amazing. Obviously, we have other stuff on back end that we can do to increase LTV even more, but that's the first thing you need to do is increase that upfront price. All right, so 2K to 10K range. And I mean, you need to get over your limiting beliefs right now that, oh, I can't charge higher. Oh, like the market doesn't have money. Like, first of all, if your market doesn't have money, or supposedly, you need to serve a different market, like serve a better market, like truly serve the person who, number one, really values what you do, and then number two, has the purchasing power. If you're not doing that, you're stupid. Like you're wasting your time. Like serve the right market. The second thing you need to understand is like your services are just absurdly valuable, but you don't realize it. Like they're absurdly valuable. They're life-changing. We don't realize, like for the fitness thing, for example, like I've always been relatively fit. It's never been a big problem for me. Like I've always been working out, have my diet, dialed in. And so to me, like it's not really a big problem. So it's not really a big deal. So like I personally wouldn't pay for like an expensive high ticket fitness program, because I don't need it. Like I'm good. I got the problem solved. But for someone else who's struggled with that their whole life, they've been overweight, they have, very low libido, it's affecting their marriage now. They have no energy, they can't play with their kids. Like it's affecting everything. It's a really painful problem for them. And that's, with pain comes value. With pain comes value. So if you're serving a really painful problem, you can charge a lot of money for it, because you're creating so much value in that. So that's upfront price. Number two is back end. So once we have this upfront price, 2 to 10K, you're already in a good spot LTV to CAC wise. But let's increase it even more. That's back end. So back end, you just want to, first thing is make sure you have some back end offer in place. All right, I speak with a lot of coaches, and they just don't have something in place. So first thing you can do is just when someone is finishing like your 3-month program, for example, offer them something when you're at week 8 or week 10. Offer them an extension, offer them a back-end program. Hey, you like what you saw? You want to keep this rolling, get some more results? Let's do this again, an additional 3 or 6 months. All right, just have a back-end offer in the first place. All right, so back-end wise, what I've noticed is a lot of times what we can do is, let's say we charge, $5K up front. Let's say this is for, a 6-month program. We can do back-end wise and usually give them a little bit of a discount. So let's say back-end, we would basically give them the same services, but we can give them a discount of okay, let's do 5K, but it's actually gonna be a year long. All right, so you give them a massive discount, it seems like basically half price, but then we just doubled the lifetime value doing that. Like that's pretty crazy. All of a sudden we take this from 5K to we're collecting 10K per client. Like that's huge. Obviously not everyone's gonna opt into the back end, which is fine, but that still increases LTV massively. That's back end right there. Make sure you have something in place. And with this, the big thing you wanna figure out for back end to really make this as good as possible is, what are the new problems that they're facing now after accomplishing, the initial dream outcome that you delivered with the program. So for example, with the guys I work with in Acquisition Pilot, basically, obviously we solved the lead gen problem, the client acquisition problem, so that they have a ton of clients now. The new problem is scaling. So how do we, create systems? How do we outsource things? How do we get more time and leverage back? How do we hire setters? How do we hire sales reps? All these things, and make the business more scalable overall. That's the new problem that's introduced. So that could be an example of something that we focus more on the back end, or to figure out what is the new problems they face once they're at this point, because there's always new problems that come up. Always. So just figure out what they are and then offer to solve them. That's back end. Last thing here to increase, this doesn't technically increase LTV, but this will decrease your CAC cost. So this technically is for CAC. This is downsells. This is good to liquidate costs, because let's say you're already paid, $100 for a call. You might as well, if they truly can't afford your flagship program, you might as well downsell them. You might as well have a downsell back pocket just so you can liquidate some costs. So for this, for example, most common thing that you can do is just have decreased access to you. So for example, if you have a coaching program, let's say you do monthly calls or something, or unlimited calls, just decrease the access. So go to, one call a month, go to just chat access or go to no access to you, something that's just decreased access. I found this is the best because it's just like, there's no real operational complexity for you. So for the business, like there's nothing big that has to change. You don't have to have like a different product. It's the same exact thing, but just decreased access. So it's really simple for you. And then for the client, like it's still the same dream outcome. You're still delivering, hey, like same promise, same dream outcome. We're still gonna make this thing happen. But you know, you're someone who's like, you don't really need to be babysat, right? That's kind of the way you can frame it. And so you can offer them this, basically this massive discount at this downsell. And this can be like, depends on your price here. Let's say you charge 5K, this could be like 2K, 3K, or even 1K, depends on what you're offering. But this is gonna help liquidate costs. All right, so instead of signing, let's say 10 clients for the month, if you had downsell in place, maybe you can sign an extra, 2 clients, 12 clients. That just helps bring in a little bit extra cash, and then obviously decreases CAC. All right, but that is the game right here. This is the whole game of business, is this arbitrage. You want to decrease CAC as low as possible and increase LTV as high as humanly possible. All right, know these metrics, know them like the back of your hand. They're so important. When you do know them, scaling becomes relatively easy. All right, that is the game. If you are an online coach and you want to scale, you want to add 10 to 30K a month to your coaching business, click the link below in the description of this video. I have a little cool offer for you, so check it out if you're interested. If not, no worries. You're cool, you're amazing, appreciate you watching. Like the video, thumbs up, subscribe, all that cool stuff. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.